Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, April the 17th. I'm Giovanni Betancourt, analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Markets. Well, big bank earnings won't reveal if the turmoil is over. Here is what will. After several of the big banks beat earnings expectations Friday, there's an air of calm and stability around the markets, which seems to believe the turmoil of last month is a thing of the past. The volatility index, VIX, the so-called fear gauge, closed last week at its lowest level since early January 2022. The MOVE index, which tracks Treasury market volatility, has also fallen below where it was before Silicon Valley Bank's collapse last month. But the sample size of earnings by JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and even Super Regional Bank PNC Financial Services isn't really enough to confidently declare an end to bank stress. If there's any chance of the pressure returning, it will likely do so as investors digest regional bank earnings in the week ahead. After all, that's where the stress was most actually felt. Plenty of those land this week, including Western Alliance Bancorp Tuesday, US Bancorp Wednesday, and Key Corp Thursday. That's after Charles Schwab, shares of which were sold off sharply last month, reports today. By the time First Republic and PacWest Bancorp report next week, investors will really know whether a banking crisis has been averted or not. The financial health of those regional lenders will go under the microscope in the coming days, with deposit outflows, increases in provisions for loans losses, and losses of unheld to maturity securities, particularly in focus. The Federal Reserve latest Beige Book survey of economic conditions on Wednesday will be another indicator of the impact. So, with that being said, let's take a look at what we can expect for today's market fluctuation. So, we have in front of us the NASDAQ. On Friday, we closed barely on the green. However, we didn't really make any new highs. We have been around this top layer of resistance around 13,300 ish. Okay, and today we opened with a small gap down, which has been closed. So therefore, we can expect at least for the first few days some pressure to the downside, some pullback, profit taking. That could be one case. 13,100, which is where the 11-day moving average is currently sitting at, could be our first level of support. Next one will be the psychological support of 13,000, and then next one will be 12,900, which is another psychological just by 100 points. But basically, around those levels, obviously resistance will continue to stay on April 4th high. 13,400 is the one that is being the target for if we do happen to see a rally in the markets. And the S&P 500, we also have opened with a small gap down, but it has been closed, and now we're pushing lower. On the S&P on Friday, it fluctuated, partially right above our resistance level, but it quickly retraced and closed below it. So that area, it almost reached 4,200, which it was being seen by a lot of traders, but it didn't quite make it there. So will there be another attempt? Perhaps, but I don't think today will be that day. I think we are going to have a sell-off, or we have another retraction on the markets. How further down? And again, the 11-day moving average is pointing right around the 4,130 marker. I have 44,100 as my support, and from here, obviously, you take a look back. It'll be this one, around this one. Uh, so let's see if that will be the case for today. Yeah, kind of being on a sell-off today, or at least short in the market at the open. And then the Dow is the one that actually did close on the downside on Friday, and it opened down today. So on the Dow, we can say that we probably most likely will be seeing, a sell-off, or a retracement on the Dow towards our 33,800 marker. So that's that for the Dow. As far as the crude oil goes, also we have opened with a gap down. It hasn't really been closed, but that will tell us that yep, we are pushing lower. Our side is below, obviously far away from being oversold. So we have a lot of things to do. $80 will be that psychological support level if you happen to do break the one of $81 and 200. As far as Nat Gas goes, Nat Gas is the one that actually has come broken out of this volume node, looking to push higher, perhaps up $2.30, where you could probably find some resistance there. The RSI is already pointing above 50, so the momentum is strong. So you could go bullish, you could buy some positions in Nat Gas today, while gold continues to trade lower. It's trading right below that 2,000 marker psychological level. So let's use that 1980 as our support for it. Yeah, and it is trading below the 11-day moving average. So pressure on gold to the downside, pressure on the metals, also silver to the downside. Have a 24,990 sitting right around that area for my support. The RSI is still in overbought territory, so let's see if that will push it back inside. Then we have copper. Copper on Friday did a parabolic movement and retraced real quickly, close below our resistance, right basically where it closed on Thursday. Today we have opened with a gap down. That gap hasn't been closed yet. Perhaps on this fluctuation it'll come down, and if the movement does deters from continuing to be to the upside, we will use the 11-day moving average as our initial support. So we have that opportunity to buy. But I'm looking at the volatility here, and perhaps it'll just be start making another days like this right here, like this right here. So probably just side trading consolidation. Then we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is finally it opened with a gap down below 30,000. That's a pretty big pressure on it. So let's see if the 11-day moving average will hold as support. Otherwise, 29,000 is the marker for support on the Bitcoin. Then we have the currencies which are trading lower, pushing lower. The euro on Friday closed lower, but it did make return to above 10, 110.50, and then quickly retraced and it closed below our resistance. And today we opened up with a gap down. It has partially been closed. Then it's moving lower. The 11-day moving average is pointing at 109,300, and I have my 109 as my support. So selling the euro for now. Also, the pound is looking to be in a sell-off condition because we have Mr. Dollar Index that it has opened up with a gap up. It's been closed, but however, it's still pushing higher. The 11-day moving average is acting as a dynamic resistance for it. So let's see if it'll hold. And here we have the VIX that had a close lower, but last week. So now we are looking at higher. So if we happen to see the VIX coming trading above into 2050-ish right here, around here, then we see a continuation sell-off in the indices. All right, well, that's it for me today. Have a fantastic trading day. And if you like my video, give us a like. Thank you.